Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on Arrow Season 6. So just quickly before we get into the video, I did mention this like, what was it, 2 or 3 videos ago, but I will be going to Oz Comic Con in Melbourne, which is on July 1st to 2nd. Now, I'm actually only going to be going on the Sunday, which is the July 2nd. I'm 99% sure. There is like a slight chance I could be going on the Saturday, but I get to Melbourne on the Saturday, so I would be rushing to get there. But I'll let everyone know close to the date. But yeah, if you are in Melbourne or if you are going, I will be there on that day. But if you are in Melbourne and haven't really looked into it yet, I will leave it linked in the description below, all the details to it, and you can find out everything you need to know about it. Now, at the beginning of Season 5 of Arrow, we saw quite a few changes to not only the main characters of Arrow, but also in its supporting cast. This was obviously due to the introduction of the new recruits who would eventually make up the new Team Arrow come later in the season. These new recruits included Curtis, otherwise known as Mr. Terrific, Wild Dog, otherwise known as Renee, that backstabbing rat, otherwise known as Artemis or Evelyn Sharp. Eventually, later in the season, we would see Dinah Drake join in and introduced as well. And of course, the last member that I haven't mentioned yet, and the focus of this video, Ragman. Now, the last time we saw Ragman on the show was actually in episode 12 of this season, which does sound pretty strange when you look back at it, for me at least. I thought he was in more of the season than just episode 12. Like, I thought he made it up to like episode 15 or 16. Like, that just shows you how quickly the back end of that season went. Anyway, Ragman obviously departed after using his rags to prevent a nuke, I think it was, or something similar, from going off and causing quite the amount of damage. Due to his rags absorbing this like blast or explosion, Ragman lost his abilities as the rags became powerless essentially. Which does obviously end in Ragman leaving Star City because he feels he doesn't really have a purpose there anymore. So ever since his departure from the show, a ridiculous amount of people have been asking, yo, where's that dude with the rags at? Which is a pretty great question, seeing that his departure was sort of rushed and blown over and like none of the characters seem to like dwell or even mention his departure come the next episode. So yeah, what happened to Ragman? Where is he? When will he appear again on Arrow? The first thing to go over is why Ragman left the show in the first place, as I have seen people sort of confused about why he departed in the first place. And the answer to that is pretty simple. Ragman was just one overpowered mofo. He was essentially a metahuman on the show of regular people. His power set far exceeded the other members of Team Arrow, and it was a bit, I guess you could say, unrealistic to not have him dominate people in every episode. Sure, Dinah Drake is like a legitimate metahuman, but I think we can all agree that she is pretty underpowered on the show, or they like downplay her powers exactly like we have seen with Black Siren. So yeah, to sum up, the main reason he would have been taken off the show would have 100% been down to the character just overall being too overpowered. Like, imagine if he was still around come the finale. Like, it would have been not necessarily over pretty quickly, but things would have been vastly different in regards to how they played out. So when will he appear again on the show? And that right there is actually a very, very interesting question, as we were actually meant to meet back up with Ragman later on in Season 5. From memory, I think it was announced before Ragman's departure that we would be heading back to Haven Rock in the latter half of Season 5, which is of course the hometown of Ragman and the place that Felicity bombed at the end of Season 4. But of course, we have all watched Season 5 and, you know, that never happened. Well, things can change on a TV show. It happens all the time, not only on Arrow and these type of shows like Flash and stuff. It happens on every single TV show. However, it is pretty rare that they announce something, like make it public, after the season has actually started and we actually never see it play out on the screen. My guess is that we may have been like supposed to head back to Haven Rock in, say, my guess would be episode 20, but maybe like budget things happened, like there was budgeting reasons as to why it never happened, which restricted them from actually doing that type of episode. And then we got that episode where Oliver and Felicity were trapped in the bunker. Now you might be wondering why I'm pointing at that episode. Well, I think we can all, you know, agree that that episode did sort of feel out of place so close to the ending of the season. Like, fair enough if that was like an episode, you know, 14 or 15, but that was in the 4th last episode. It felt out of place. Like, if they chucked in something with Haven Rock and Prometheus doing something in Haven Rock, or making them go back there to dwell on bad memories or something, that would make sense. But, you know, that underneath episode, that's what episode 20 was called. It felt out of place, so it wouldn't surprise me if that's maybe where they wanted to place that Haven Rock episode. But honestly, I think we will see whatever they had planned for that Haven Rock episode in season 5 throughout season 6 at some point. But just like tweaked a little bit to fit the overlying or overlaying plot of season 6. I really doubt we will see Ragman come back as an actual like full-time member of Team Arrow, just due to, as I said earlier, his power level, like compared to the others, just being, much, much higher. But it would be awesome to see him back for an episode or two, just to help the others with whatever they need, like why they're going back to Haven Rock. Maybe Ragman like sends them some sort of distress beacon, I don't know, something along those lines. But it would be cool to visit there, because we actually never physically went there. We just saw a bomb drop in it, and that was it. So it would be cool to visit like sort of this like wasteland, if you want to call it that. And I haven't really mentioned it because you'd be wondering, oh, why would Ragman come back if his rags were broken? Well, I think they sort of hinted that the rags were just, depowered at that time when he left the show. I think they're going to get their powers back, and, Ragman will be able to be born again, if that makes sense. But they just need time to like recharge, if that makes sense. So I don't think Ragman's gone completely. If they decide to go down that route and like the rags are useless and we just see Rory come back, who is Ragman, then that's fine, because Rory is actually, I think, useful without the rags. He is a pretty smart dude, so they could use him in that aspect. But I think, honestly, if everyone voted who watched the show, what would you rather see back? Just Rory? Or would you want Ragman back as well? I think a lot of people would be saying, just give us the rags. Come on, we need the rags. But thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, it'd be awesome if you could leave a like on it. Let me know in the comments section down below. Would you be excited to see Ragman come back? And how would you like to see him come back? Would you like us going to Haven Rock, and that's maybe where he's like chilling out and hiding out? Or would you like Ragman to come to Star City? I think we all love an excursion or a vacation, so I think going to Haven Rock would be the better option of the two. But yeah, let me know what you think of all of that in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.